Hi there, and thanks for sticking around for more Explore Tulsa. Trish, now I know you've been setting up your new home and getting all kinds of great things in there, but do you know what your house really needs?
Well, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I think it needs, but I'm sure you'll come up with something I just can't live without.
You read my mind. What you need is a conversation piece, a real showstopper, that people just won't stop talking about.
And just where would I get such an invaluable addition to my home?
Southside Auction House. I bet old Bud Roach could set you right up.
Here we go, picking up the dime right there, guy. What do you get for it? 10, 12 and a half. 12 and a half anywhere, 10 out of there, 15 and a half, 15, 12 and a half.
Got started back in the 60s with my sister. My dad took over a business trying to help another fellow out. Lloyd Krause was a friend of his that died. When Mr. Krause died, my dad was trying to help his family out. And so he bought it, took it over, and that's how it came up with Southside Auction. We've always been in antiques, furniture kind of business all our lives, so we just enjoyed, doing auctions and dealing and with antiques and stuff. In the early days, there's a lot of antiques and stuff that we like to sell. Most auctions that you see in the state that you go around back in the 50s, 60s and everything, they were old tin buildings that they converted. They were old storefronts. Some of the little towns, they took old businesses that had gone out of business and made them into an auction house. The auction was built in 1956. The auction house, this is the only auction house in the state of Oklahoma that was built just for an auction. And so we're the only, real auction house in the state, the oldest one. This was the Cadillac or the premier auction house in the state back in the 50s and 60s. We had two auctioneers hired. Jack Walker was a cattle auctioneer. The other one was an old-time auctioneer, Slim Carney. And so I listened to both of them, and then it got to the point where my sister and I, we had to hire an auctioneer. We couldn't afford it, so one of us had to learn to do it, and I was the one. I just listened to them, and they would kind of help me out, because sometimes I'd go too fast, and Slim would slap me. He said, well, the old women can't hear you. You're going too fast, slow down, all the TV shows and things made them, pretty famous now. But back in the early days, the auctioneers were just, they helped people out and liquidated estates and sold cattle, stuff like that. Well, you want to make people comfortable, and when you take their money, you want them to be comfortable. So you got to do it in a way so everybody enjoys it. You can't. We try to make it entertaining when they come out here.
Worry about bidding too much, because we'll always stop you if you go too high. So I've never had that happen before.
We sell for trust companies, different banks. Some of them are pretty famous. We sell Rolls Royces, we sold everything, you just name it. For one of the trust companies, we had a 60 Corvette, one owner, and there was only 10,000 of them made, and I think it ended up bringing around 60,000. So yeah, we sell stuff like that. Attorneys that know us, they'll have people give us a call. We take care of all their, when they've got something. We sell the real estate, the personal property. We're licensed to sell firearms from the government, so it's a pretty safe way to sell stuff and be sure that it's going to get cleared. And you're not getting in trouble for it, Well, auctions when they first started out, it used to be kind of a low class thing if you went to an auction and all that. Now it's really kind of a high class thing, Well, I bought it at the auction, If they want to come to the auction, it's just a lot of fun. You can, you don't have to buy anything. You can sit there and watch, and you'll see a lot of, it doesn't matter whose auction it is, you'll see a lot of unusual items going through and kind of give you a base if you're going out to buy something, what to give for it. If you see something, selling for $200 and you go someplace and they want $800 for it, you think, well, that's kind of crazy. Maybe I'll go back. So it's just a lot of fun.
40, now 50, $50, now $60, $60, $50.